Welcome to a Thursday night. Nothing much is going on except I've been spending the last couple of weeks, last few weeks, with my 3D printer trying to get it to consistently print. And I've run into some issues. And one thing I do regret is I bought the Creality Ender 3 S1 Pro. I should have gotten the Perusa. I've run into a number of issues with calibration. I seem to spend way more time with calibration. To give you an example, these are what they call single layer testing. So sometimes they come very close, like this one, but you can see there's defects right here. Other times they almost perfect. This one here, you can see there's problems all over the place. This one, lots of problems. This one, even more. And this is what I've been going through. I can calibrate that to the point where I get a layer like this, which looks really, really good. Let me just turn the brightness a little bit up. Here. So you can see it's really nice and smooth. There's no nicks in it or anything. I did cause a slight nick on the back side when I was peeling it off, but printing wise it was near perfect. Now you would think you take this and you grow it in size, you get the same result. Now that you've got it, this is the result. So this is just a larger version of this, but you can see it started out kind of well. So this here, these marks are like front of the printer, the rear of the printer, right? So you can see here for the first part it was doing really well, right? And then all of a sudden you get this area here, which is what they call the head is too low. Right, so I fiddled with the wheel on one side because it was all tended to be on the right side. Center started doing that, and when I got down to the back side here, you can see what looks like that fiber. This is where the head is way too high instead of way too low. It's the opposite of this. So what you're seeing is the bed acts flat here. It rises a bit, and the bed falls a bit. Right? And you can see a little bit here. So, I mean, you can see on this white one, for example, it's kind of hard to see, but it's as good as that. So it's not filaments per se that's causing anything issuing. It definitely all has to do with calibration. Now, I printed this dinosaur out, for example. Let me turn the brightness a little down so the dinosaur is not so glowy. But you can see here this lines going across. That's like, and the reason you see the hex, what looks like a grid in it, is because the top layer is not done properly. Right, and this nose hole here. By the way, this is the Google Dinosaur on the error page. That hole there should be a nose hole, but it's not there, right? You can see it's kind of bulgy here. It's stuck well. That was another issue. I was having a lot of adhesion issue. And then things like cubes like this, you get bottom edge issues here. What they call elephant foot. And you can see on the surface of this thing, things are not right. And I've done a bunch of cubes. Some turn out better than others, but overall, right, these things aren't good at all. But they do measure out correctly, right? But they're not printing properly. So this is one of these little bed calibration cards you can make, but you can see the problems in this. This is supposed to be smooth here, but you can see all this, and you can see it in here on this one. And even on the back side of this one, you can see the areas that are not good right here. So that was quite annoying. I'm just going to move these over here. You don't want it anymore. One moment, I just dropped everything. Well, the usual. Can't keep things stacked. But, so that's what I've been working on. I'm after a really interesting item. It's called... So let me switch over to the web page. And of course the Chrome up doesn't have it, so let me just find the Chrome. Here we go. So, oops, there we go. So I'm going to pick up, someone recommended on a forum, you can make a bracket that holds this. This is called a dial gauge. And what it does is when you lower the extrusion head down to the surface, right, you can have that touch and give you within 1/1000th of a millimeter accuracy in how far you're actually down. That's the biggest trouble I've had on this printer. It's the human factor and calibration of the 4 corners for Z-axis. It's out to lunch. Like, you cannot guarantee that you yourself will get all 4 corners right. I mean, the classical test in the thing, oh, stick a piece of paper under, and if it feels rough, you got the right distance. No. I found on this printer, and like another guy at work, right, you do that, all your prints are way too high off the thing. It doesn't work that way. I mean, that's a piece of big bull crap on the part of the 3D manufacturers. Oh, just do that and it'll work. No, you end up with crap printouts like I've been getting. Right? I mean, I was literally on the printer, like when I was doing some of that one layer stuff, I was fiddling at 1/1000th of a millimeter. I would increase it like 2 points and get a completely corrected version on the bed. Just literally 2/1000. That is 0.002. So it's like jumping from, I might have a Z offset of 40 already, minus 0.4 on the printer, and I have it on the slicer 0.452. And then I would increase it to minus 454, and things would correct itself. That's literally fine. A human cannot measure 1/1000th of a millimeter with a piece of paper and scraping it under the extruder head and the bed, especially when the bed is like PEI or something like that, where it's not smooth like this tabletop is. Even this bed right here where I'm on, this cutting board, is not smooth. It feels smooth, but fine down, it's not smooth at all. So that's what I'm going to go for. I did have some stuff, as I said, arrive from Aliexpress and Adafruit. And oh, by the way, if you're shipping stuff from Adafruit to Canada, for example, and you're using DHL, be wary, because you might have to phone them up, because I got dinged with an excessive line item surcharge of $17. What that means is every item that has to come into a country like Canada from the US has an itemized border control list saying the item's this type, it's HST code such, and it costs so much, and whether or not it has duty, and what's the GST. Well, that stupid form, I had 11 items on it, spread across 4 copies of that form. To GHL, it was more than 5, so they billed me $2 and something cents per extra line item beyond 5. Never had it before from Adafruit. Just out of the blue, a money grab from DHL. And apparently, from what I read, other sites have the same technical line item on their thing too. I think FedEx, it's 3 items. I'm not sure what UPS is, but people have reported being dinged by that. The only way you can do anything is you have to phone them up and or submit the thing and say and complain that you got nicked with this. But those are my trials and tribulations of getting stuff across the border. So let us, I will get that out here. And that item out here. And this item out here. And we'll leave that one for last. So I had that unit last week. No, the week before. Let me just put this here. This one here. The A1 Slam Tech. This is a lidar unit, really, really big, right? So my friend had another one, a different one, so I picked that one up. So this one here. So this one here is called the D300. You're going to get a little circuit board. Oh, and I'm very bright. Let's just de-brightness this a little bit. You get a little circuit board and you get the smaller unit. So this LiDAR unit is like at least less than half the size of the other one. And there's some cables and stuff in the bottom. But this is what it is. So the idea behind this... there's a spinning thing in here, a camera thing. You connect the cables to this, and it senses things in a 360 degrees. So I'll have to figure out how to hook one up and see what it can do. You're supposed to put it on robot cars and stuff like that, and that way you can have them avoid the terrain. It should be what Tesla's cars are supposed to be doing, but apparently not. Apparently they do things like stop in the middle of a freeway and then not start up again, giving you an error on the console. And this one lady was scared the crap out of her. I got the programmers. Now this bag kind of burst. But so the programmers. Ta-da. Now what we can do with these, this can program this one. So we can update the firmware. And this goes on here like so. And this goes on the retro chip tester, and this goes on the computer. So I'm ready to try reprogramming this and then trying to actually put firmware on the retro chip tester now. I had to wait for these to kind of show up. So, and then what is this one? This one was, oh yeah. There's such a frickin' demand for Raspberry Pis at the moment. So this is called an Orange Pi. It's one of them anyway. I know there's more of them, of these things. So this is what it looks like. So you got power, a reset button by the looks of it. I'm not sure what this is for. I'll have to look it up. But I believe there's a little Pico speaker here. You got HDMI. You got audio. Kind of Raspberry Pi's went up on this one because this, I believe, is only USB 2.0 speeds. But the NIC is supposed to be a gig, from what I've read. And then you got the usual GPIO. I believe this is an infrared sensor right here. And then you have another USB port here, a tiny one. I think you can use one or the other of these two for power. Okay. It has 1 gig of RAM. And then on the bottom is the SD card holder. Your standard micro SD card. Just like the Raspberry Pi Zeros or the regular Raspberry Pis or whatever. Not it has to, if you're doing a Raspberry Pi 2 or 1, it has the bigger cards. The 3 and 4 have the micro SDs. So see what we can do with that. Boot it up. I got this because a friend of mine wanted to do a Pi-hole, the ad blocking stuff. So I picked up one of these, see if I can do Pi-hole on one of these, because you don't need much for Pi-hole. You just need a board and some space, and I think 1 gig of RAM will be more than enough to run everything, right? And then I can actually recover the Pi I have behind there doing the thing, because it has I think it's a 2 gig or a 4. No, it's not a 4 gig, but I think it's a 2 gig Pi. So now the real goodies bin. Adafruit. And the super shiny plastic. Can we dim a little bit? Yeah, there we go. So, what have we got in here? Okay. So, the freebies that they give you, I got another blue fruit, of course. And I got more headers because I was needing some more of these feather header kits. So I did pick up some more of them. It's just that I have these, but cutting them, making them nice and smooth like this, nah, it's better off getting the pre-done ones. And then we have here, oh yeah, this is the new gas sensor. It's multi-gas. It does something like 4 different gases, including methane. I don't think it does hydrogen. I think it does methane, CO2, and I can't remember what the other 2 gases are. But you can guess. You can make a fart detector. And we have, our other free item, what they call a keyboard. It's actually a miniature RP2040 board. You don't have to use it for the keyboard thing. That's what it was originally built for, but it is a little microcontroller with an RP2040 on it. And taller stacking headers. Nope, same ones. And this one is, this is the this one is the Adafruit VL53L4CX. It's a optical range sensor. One has actually really long range, like I believe it's up to 0.5 meter, something like that. I'll have to check. And then they had some they had some Adafruit Metro Minis back in stock that have been in stock for a long time, so I picked up a couple before they disappeared again. Because what's apparently happening is the processor on this, the SAMD, I believe this has the SAMD on it. Yeah, I think it has a SAMD. They're getting hard to get. So boards based off that particular one are getting harder and harder for them to build. So that means the M1, M4 Metros, the minis like that, anything based off the SAMD chip, they're having a hard time getting SAMDs. And some of them might be end of life. Okay, so this guy here is a different, it's more, I believe the ENS 160 is a pure CO2 sensor, a more basic one. And then we have a new feather. This is the ESP32S3 feather with 4 meg of storage, 2 meg of memory. My habit of buying 2 of everything all the time, so there's always 2. What do we have here? The gas sensor, the other gas sensor. We have here another 160. Okay, so this is the updated ESP32 Feather V2. More storage, I believe, and a couple of tweaks on the board and stuff like that. Range detector, doink. And then we have in here the Bluefruit LE Friend. There was a reason I got it. I can't remember what it is. Okay, more headers. This is another Metro Mini, as I said, too. Our free proto board. So we have another one. And what do we have in here? Oh, right. So remember I talked about the ESP32i? I have another one of these somewhere around here, and I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it. I know I have it. I just don't know where it is. So, but for some reason, on Adafruit, these are $15 cheaper than Aliexpress. Yeah, go figure. So I picked up 2 of those. They have it's really similar to ESP32 cam, like this, right? The same idea. It looks similar, but this has an ESP32 S3 on it with a lot more space and stuff on it. So, what else we have here? Adafruit Halloween. Oh, right. So it's Halloween. Well, depending on what country you're in, you might not have a Halloween. I don't know. That's a North America thing. But I finally got around because they were in production again. You put a feather on here, and you connect things up to it, right? So you have all these stuff and fun stuff. And it is got some sensors and other things on here, I think. LiPo battery, NeoPixel. But you can do things, make eyes. And the kind of cute thing about this, they have these here. You can just hook alligator clips up to these things to drive them. You don't, and get them off something else like a different controller. So I have a regular set of these. But these are the Halloween themed versions. Adafruit ESP32 S3 TFT Feather. This is the one with the screen on it. So, like so. I have some AliExpress versions of those. But she rebuilt this one. It's supposed to be a new version of it. It's very nicely done. Yeah, I remember she put that vertically there, and Everything now from them, USB-C. Okay. This. Oh yes, this looked interesting. This was a type of different way of doing a letter stuff thing. How do you put it? This is not one of hers. I believe it's someone else's. They just shelved it in the store. Not cheap though, I can tell you that much. But see, like so. You can have scrolling digits. It's got the same little same little super tiny pixels on it, full color pixels, as one of her feather hats. Yeah, UK. Comes all the way from the United Kingdom. I think that might be a Primorius item or one of the places out there. This guy here, I have the collector's edition anniversary issue Uno. Problem is the Uno comes with this size of pinning, and your breadboards and everything else is this size of pinning. So what this is the 2mm jumper wires to 2.54mm jumper wires. I have a different one over there, I think, with bare pins on it. Now, I kept losing my Pico cards. So, yes. These are frickin' handy. If you don't have one, get one. They got some stuff on here, how to get your CircuitPython on. But these are cool. I wonder if they're going to update the card for Raspberry Pi Pico W, or otherwise known now as the Pi Cow. That's right. Get your cowbells on, because she's made some breakout boards and other stuff for the Pi Cow. If you've been watching the engineering show from them, she had a whole bunch of it on yesterday. And so I'm going to have a peeky at this. Yeah, ESP2i. And you can change these cameras too. You don't have to use the default one on here. You can get different ones. Now, this is supposed to be powerful enough to do item recognition and stuff like AI. Ooh. Build a killer robot. That's right. Let it loose at the workplace. And so you get a bunch of stuff in here in the kit. So there's a little cable, little card. Yeah, where is that? Just a sec. Did I put that down recently? I'll show you the collector's edition Uno. Just a sec. stuck it somewhere again, and now I can't find it. William. Well, maybe not. I stuck it somewhere again, and I can't find it. It's like the second time I've done that with that Uno. It's in a little box, a little black box. It's not this one. This is my company award. Yeah, I thought I had it in a box. Oh, well. So, let's put all this into here. I have to catalog all this anyway, so... that can go into... oops, you two can go in there till I catalog you. So, what did I do with the other ESP i32? I don't know. But that is all the stuff I got in the mail. I wasn't going to do any real electronics tonight. It is a work week, and I don't usually like doing things on a work week. Then I don't sleep well, so... but I will get to the programming, and I want to get the retro programming done so that I can actually start using the thing. Well, we know all the lights come on, but we don't know if anyone's home yet. So we need to get the code in there and see if we can test some chips out. Oh, CircuitPython for the Pico W, the Pico, is in beta right now. And if anyone has one, they should actually help Adafruit and download a copy and install it in their Pico. Check out. I believe Wi-Fi is all working that, but there was a drawback on the whole thing. Probably will have to wait till the cloners come out with Pico clones with more RAM on them, because the amount of RAM on a Pico got shrunk. Your storage areas got shrunk. So that's a problem. But I will leave it at this. And we can... oh, yeah. The other thing I just forgot. There is... this close. We're talking... we're probably days, maybe a week away, for KD Neon to have the official upgrade. You can do it right now. All the packages are ready and stuff. You can actually do... I think it's apt. Let me just check here. Apt do dash. No, I can't remember what it is. It's it's like something dash D. And when you do this command, you can do... why can't I... I'm sure... I don't have my... the official forum app installed onto this box. So I don't think I do anyway. I think it's called Element. Yeah. And I don't have it on here. So I can't go to the forum post about this. Is it apt or just do release maybe? Yeah, so if you do release like this, dash D, like that, it will actually upgrade this distro from 2004 Ubuntu to 2204.1 Ubuntu. I'm not going to execute it on here because according to my thing, I'm due for updates. Downstairs here in the tray, there's a little red dot, so there are updates waiting for me. You have to actually make sure you do bring this full thing up to date. So normally you would go it's not in my history. You'd want to do this one. This will catch everything up to date. Now, if you just powered your system on, of course, you first should do this one here to update the repos themselves, and then do that command. You can do this, by the way, apt update semicolon, and then this one, apt dist upgrade -- allow downgrades, and then you could actually go semicolon and add in apt auto, I think it is, remove -y. So you update the repos, you bring the system up to date, and spurious extra packages that are not needed anymore get removed. Once you've done that, you can then do that do release upgrade, and this will become 2204.1. Now, KD Neon's going to have an application they usually do when they're ready. It's a graphical application that you will run, and it'll have a little couple of check marks, and you agree, and it'll move your sources tree entries out of the way so that they don't interfere, and voila, you get updated. And I did the 1804 to 2004, and it worked just fine. No problem. At the time when I did it. But there are a lot of improvements inside of 2204 baseline Ubuntu that are worth getting. If you're on some other distros like Pop! OS or Ubuntu or something, you're already at 2204. It's just that the core KD Neon guys just, held back to make sure that everything was peachy keen perfect. So now I'll let you go. Probably bored you to silly. Yeah, I've got updates over here too. You can see that. Yeah. I decided not this evening to actually update this because I wanted to make a video, and I could have blown everything completely up, and then we would be in days of repairing things again. But nope, everything's looking good. So, toodaloo.